What's up everybody, Patrick 1969, and it is finally here, the Robot Damashii, or Robot Spirits, RX-78GP01 Gundam GP01 version anime from Stardust Memory. This figure has been highly anticipated ever since it was announced, and it's finally here. I don't know if I mentioned it already, number 256 in the Damashii line. I feel like I already said that. Sides of the box are pretty basic, you know, what we've already seen before. The figure showing all its accessories, the GP02 that's soon to come out after this one, and some more accessories as well. The back of the box, some more posing, and showing off some of the beam effect parts that it comes with. Man, that front of the box though looks pretty awesome. Let's just go ahead and open this figure, or open this box up and take a look at the figure inside. Well, here it is, the GP01, and oh my goodness, look how awesome he looks. Okay, so the front of the figure, you can just see like all the little paint details are done almost perfectly. As far as I can tell, I haven't really gotten in there and taken a closer look, but yeah, it looks great so far. The shoulder with the 01 painted on it looks great. The V's, the little paint on the skirts, on the little skirt tails. What are these little? Yeah, they're pretty little. They look great. Paint on the head looks pretty awesome. Let's see, can you take a go? Yeah, it looks good. Yeah, that's a good closer look. Anyways, going down, we see some paint around the knees, I guess you would say. Paint around the calves of the mobile suit. Looks pretty awesome. And on the back, you have some paint on the backpack, inside the thrusters and whatnot, some lenses on it as well. It's just, wow, you know what? I am very impressed. I'm very happy with this figure so far. Man, pretty cool indeed. It's just looking pretty, so pretty. Okay, don't fall. Wow. Okay, so that's not all this figure has to offer. Looks aren't everything unless you have some accessories or something else to back it up, and this figure, I think, has a lot to offer. So let's go ahead and move on to those said accessories. Starting always with hands, you get a number of different varieties. This one is no different from any other Gundam figure. You get a hand rack to go along with these little digits to store them on. You have an open palm hand, you have a somewhat open posing palm hand, maybe to look like he's grabbing something, and then you get two different styles for trigger finger hands. So those are pretty cool. These are going along with the already somewhat open clenched hands that are on the figure to begin with. So in total, you get 5 pairs of hands for the figure. Moving on to some other basic accessories, you get a shield. Now this is so cool. I like this a lot. This is the first shield I've seen actually slide open for a Damashii, and it is about time. That's what the actual shield on the anime did, and now we have it in figure form. Now you get 2 attachments to place this shield onto the Gundam. You get a simple forearm attachment, if I can place it in there. Yeah, it goes in there on that. So I believe that's where you place the forearm attachment, or this part, onto the forearm of the Gundam. And then you also get another attachment. Where is it? Where is it here? And this one is so, you know, you can swing the shield around on the forearm, but you also have this simple ball and insert peg for the forearm as well. So basically to keep it, you know, solidly non-moving on the forearm altogether. And then you also have a handle that's already attached to it. So that's pretty cool. Something we haven't seen before with an accessory shield. We also get the bullpup machine gun. You can use this with all other Mobile Suit Gundam, Robot Damashii 1-year war figures. Really love this. Haven't seen this yet with any other figures. You of course get the beam rifle, which comes with removable beam saber or beam rifle ammo packs, and you get 2 extra ones to place on your shield. And then you also get a rack to attach the beam rifle onto the Gundam as well. Let's see, can I get this on camera? It's probably opposite side. Yeah, there you go. So you can place this beam rifle onto the backpack of the Gundam or on the back, lower torso area. So anyways, one other thing that goes with this beam rifle is the beam effect parts. Now you got to actually take this bottom piece off and attach it just to make it safe so you don't break it. But basically you just kind of fit it in there somehow. Maybe it's this way. Yeah, actually it is that way. And I'm just going to gently put it on there so you can get an idea of how it looks. And that is pretty cool. That's from the anime as well. I don't remember exactly how many times it was used, but yeah, it's still a cool little feature to have. Other effect parts include some basic thruster effect parts. We get these with many other Robot Damashii figures, so nothing new there. We also have a slashing motion beam saber effect part. Something pretty basic, but a little different in terms of how it's sculpted. It's very rigid, very jagged in terms of how the beam effect part looks. And you also get that same effect design with the beam rifle effect part. Now, something really cool that you get with the beam rifle effect part is that you get this attachment to make it look like it's actually firing out of the beam rifle. So if we take that part out and we attach it like that, it really does, can I get it? There it goes. It really does look pretty damn cool. And you can actually use this bottom effect part for the beam sabers as well. I don't have a beam saber hilt with me, even though it would take me a quick second to get it, but all you gotta do is that little maneuver, and there you go. So these beam saber effect parts are jagged and look pretty rugged as well. They're not smooth or anything, but still really great design for this figure. Last but not least, for the effect parts, you get this clashing beam saber dueling effect part. I don't know what exactly to call it, but it is very awesome. You've probably seen these in the promotional photos for the figures. You're going to need the GP02 as well as the GP01 to achieve this little pose. It looks awesome. Nice vibrant blue, translucent blue on the edges, oops, and clear plastic in the middle. It is very easy to take apart. That's all you have to do is just take them apart and place both beam sabers in the middle as the directions state. I will use this when the GP02 comes out and I show that figure off, so stay tuned for that. But yes, very cool little accessory to have. Now, I didn't take them out of the package, but I will note that you get an extra V-fin and antenna for the Gundam's head, so that's pretty awesome. We don't get that too often, and it's nice to have it with this GP01. We're going to move on to articulation, and this guy has a lot of articulation. Oh, almost forgot, you also get 2 beam saber hilts as well, so that's it for accessories. Anyways, moving on. Now, the head does move quite a bit. It kind of has this chicken neck articulation going on, but it's not too bad, so you just do it just to make them seem a little bit taller. Anyways, you get full 360 rotation with the head as well. Moving on to the arm, you can rotate full 360, go up about that much. You get a bicep rotation, you get double bend in the elbow, and the hand is attached by a ball joint. Moving on to the torso, you can lean forward about that much and then lean back, not that much at all, and then you can rotate, I would say 360, but the back skirt armor is in the way. Something also to note is the beam saber recharge rack moves as well. I'd be very careful with it. Just note that it does move. The backpack also lifts up from the mobile suit, and you can detach it like so. Very simple there. Not bad at all. Moving on to the lower torso, the skirt armor on the sides move. And I think the front skirt armor does as well, but it's a little hard to grab. So that's there. And then the back skirt armor also. So you can kick forward about that much. And you can do a double bend in the knee. Now, the ankle armor is a little tricky. It does tend to pop off a little too easily. So you just want to be careful there, but you do get some some ankle pivot. In the foot, you get a nice little bend as well. And then in the toe, you get a little bend also. So not bad at all. What is that? Is that a ball joint? Oh, that's just a little thing right there. Okay, so yeah, lots of articulation, not bad. You do get some rotation in the hip as well, and then you can bend the leg out about that much. So lots of articulation with this GP01, and appropriately so, because this guy he's versatile in the show and looks super cool. And here we show the GP01 with the beam effect part attached to the beam rifle, and he looks pretty badass. I so far don't have any weight issues with the gun sagging, the arm down. It looks like everything's pretty locked up and tight. It's funny because when I first popped this figure out, I was having a bit of an issue, but I guess that was just maybe in my head, I don't know. Anyways, looks great. If yeah, I love it. I dig that little effect part on the around the barrel itself. That's pretty cool. I wish they did that with a lot more figures. But yeah, let's see. Oh, there it goes. It's kind of wobbly. It doesn't hold the rifle that tightly in the hand, but I will address that towards my final thoughts. But so far, it looks good. Let's take a look at how the figure looks with the beam saber. Before I start showing off the beam saber too much, I want to note that I forgot to mention the articulation that goes on in the chest area of this figure. Now, instead of pulling the shoulder, or I'm sorry, the arm away from the shoulder, should be shoulder? Yeah, shoulder of the figure, it actually pulls the shoulder inward towards the middle of the chest. So you get that bit of articulation pulling forward. It's not a lot, and we've seen better with the arm actually pulling out from the torso, but that's okay. It works for this figure. I don't really see him reaching all the way across his other side just for some posing, so it's not too bad. Now, going on to the beam saber, it looks pretty awesome with that secondary beam effect part coming out of the saber. It looks like the beam saber hilt is just overpowered, and yeah, it just looks awesome. Really, that needs to be a standard for all the figures going forward. Let's take a look let's take a look at how it looks without it, and it still looks pretty cool. I don't mind it, but just this added extra piece for me. Really, I'm liking it a lot. I'm digging it quite a bit. Okay, so with everything pretty much shown on this figure, let's go ahead and get into final thoughts. So I don't want to go too long in my final thoughts, and I'm going to keep this really short and simple. This figure is a must buy. It is a great robot Damashii, but it is in no way perfect. Now, let's note the positives. The positives are that it's just overall, aesthetically, the design looks perfect. It is amazing how accurate this figure is to the GP01 from the anime. On top of that, you don't get anything new in terms of accessories, but it's just the fact that they're tweaked just a little bit for this figure. It looks awesome. Now, I can't remember exactly if we've had other little tweaks with beam saber effect parts or beam rifle effect parts like this, but the fact that they added this secondary piece to the GP01's accessories, that's just really cool, and it is very much appreciated. You also get that little accessory for the beam rifle, very cool. Also, the shield. I love that the shield isn't a breakaway shield that you have to like put back together in order to close or open, like they did with the MSIA GP01. Not my cup of tea, but the fact that this is a sliding shield looks really cool, and it kind of just makes you get more into the figure, like it's how the original shield from the show was. That being said, the articulation looks great on this figure. It's not bad, but it's not overly done to where this guy is flopping around. It's a solid figure, so whatever poses you guys put in this this figure in, it's gonna hold. On top of that, it's pretty strong. It was able to hold the beam rifle with the two effect parts attached to it, so that's pretty cool. Now the little negatives, and they're just minor, okay? Really minor. It's not gonna stop you guys from picking this guy up. The first one being the ankle arm armor. So I've seen online a few people having problems. The ankle and the foot armor, or I'm sorry, the ankle armor and the overall foot sometimes come off. They just pop out of the sockets that they're attached to. It's not a big deal, but it just, you know, when you're trying to pose this guy, it sometimes happens. Again, it's a minor thing, you know, every figure is different, and that's just what we have going with this one. Last but not least, though, for the negative, and it's kind of a big one for me, it's the hands. So I've been seeing a lot that, I don't know if this is just how they're made, but the hands, the palms and the fingers are either, the connection point is too thin or the glue is not enough to where when you put in objects like a beam rifle handle or a beam saber, they spread apart and it kind of seems like they might break. I don't like that. I don't get how it's doing that, but yeah, it's just something that I've been seeing with a few figures, and it might have to stop soon because it just doesn't look great. It makes me fearful of swapping out hands and putting these guys in poses when I do have them out. But all that aside, this figure is a must get. Now, I can't remember exactly how much I paid for this one. It was probably well over $40. It was off of Ami, but I would say it was, yeah, it was very much worth it. This figure is already sold out, so if you're gonna find him, it's probably gonna be maybe Hobby Link Japan, probably eBay, maybe Big Bad Toy Store, I don't know. But good luck, good hunting. I hope you enjoy the review. Hit like, dislike, subscribe, do all that good stuff, share. I have a Patreon. If you want to win some prizes, go on there, pledge a couple bucks, and you might be able to win, you know, a lot of different figures that I review. Unfortunately, not this one, because this guy sold out really quick and I was only able to get enough for my own collection. So anyways, hope you guys like the review. Again, do all that good stuff, and I'll catch you later. Bye.